Hey guys, it's Heidi with Hush Hush Magazine, and I wanted to talk today about how I am staying motivated with my fitness routine and with continuing to work out. I think it was a little over a year ago that I posted the opposite video of how I wanted to give up because it felt like nothing I was doing was working and I couldn't stay motivated. I couldn't stay consistent with my workouts. I'm now, well over a year in, and I've finally found a system, is what I would call it, a system that really works for me. And so I thought it would be helpful to share it with anybody else that might be struggling with staying on top of their fitness routine. So let's get into it. So I have literally a list of things that I have to do for me to stay on top of my fitness routine. Like, one thing that I will start out with overall is to say that even though I do enjoy exercising more now than I used to before I was super lazy. Like, even to walk was like, I was super lazy about it. I hated it. I've now come to a place where I do value just like the act of moving, whether it's just walking, dancing, stretching, playing tennis, whatever it is. I've found ways to actually make it an enjoyable experience for myself. So that's made a huge difference. Finding things that you enjoy, and if it's something that you don't enjoy, being able to add an element to it that can make it enjoyable for you is going to make everything else a whole lot easier. So I wanted to put that out there, just so you guys know. So for example, like, I hated walking, but then I found that if I'm listening to my podcast, or if I'm walking on a treadmill and watching Netflix, or if I'm talking to my friends or talking to someone on the phone while I'm walking, that will make the time go by while I'm walking, and then I don't realize, that I'm walking, and then I can get, 20, 30, 40 minutes of walking in without overthinking and feeling like, bored or annoyed or whatever it is that I used to feel when I used to hate walking. So that's an example there. So with that said, let's get into it. The things I do to stay motivated for my fitness routine. Number one is it's super important to figure out your intent for wanting to exercise. I find that when my original intent was just like, oh, I want to have a six pack, oh, I want to be hot, that was not sufficient for me to actually stay motivated for an extended period of time, especially since my initial goal was like, oh, I want to be part of like the whole hot girl summer movement. So I want to have my six pack and I want to be cute or whatever. Once summer came and I was not, with a six pack and all that, and then summer passed, then what, Are you just going to give up on your goal and give up on everything? No, you can't. You have to keep going. It has to be a year-long thing. It has to be, ideally a lifelong thing, because you're going to see the most impact and the most results with exercise when it's over an extended period of time and when you're consistent. It can't be something you just do, before a season and expect to just come out looking bomb, Maybe some people might be able to, but I think most people cannot do that. So number one is like, what is your intent? So for me, it was kind of like, okay, I want a six pack. Why? Because I want to look strong. Why? Because I want to look healthy. Why? Because I, grew up around people that weren't always healthy, and it made me feel, afraid, sad, nervous that they're not going to be around for a long time. And I want to be around for a long time, and I want the people around me to be around for a long time. Okay, then that's like a deeper, more meaningful reason for actually, wanting to exercise and be active, and going past that surface level of just like, oh, I want a six pack. The surface level reason might still be true. I want a six pack, and for me it is true. But I think having that deeper, more meaningful, more long-term reason as well is also a way to keep you motivated, because on the days when you don't care about a six pack, which There are many days when I don't care anymore. I'm just like, whatever, like I'll switch it for Netflix or for chilling. Um, then you can think like, oh, but wait, like I want to be healthy and I want to be alive for a very long time and I want to be able to do things with my friends and family for a very long time, even when I get older. So let me move my butt, you know? So that will be more motivational. So set that like longer term intent and vision for yourself, and that will help. So that's the first thing, intent and vision. Second thing is, for me specifically, I found that music really gets my body up and moving. Even when I'm feeling, or let me not say even, especially when I'm feeling tired, when I'm feeling depleted, when I'm feeling low energy, especially like after work or after a long day. I look at the time, it's like 6, 7 p.m. I still haven't put in a meaningful workout or I still haven't hit 10,000 steps. The last thing I want to do is stay on my feet walking or jumping or doing whatever. I just want to lie down and rest, right? But I've found that once I start playing music, especially music that's like energizing, music that I really enjoy, before I know it, I'm already on my feet, moving, dancing, singing the words. And so doing that actually gets me into the right spirit, it gets me into the right zone. And so once I realized that, I started looking for ways that I can kind of like automate, playlists to get me into the zone, get me into the moment, get me into the spirit for working out. And I found this app that's called FitRadio app, I think is what it's called, or FitRadio music app. I'll find it and overlay it in the video for you guys. But it's in the App Store. I use an iPhone. I don't know about Android if they support that, but they definitely support iPhone. And the whole idea of FitRadio, there are actually like two main value propositions for FitRadio app. Number one is what I said, finding music playlists for working out. And the cool thing about it is they have different DJs who compile, a bunch of music together. And it's different from just like a Spotify playlist because number one, if you don't have paid Spotify, then you have ads. And then number two, Spotify will like play the music and play like the whole song and then play the next song. And they tend to kind of group it more based on genre or something like that. Whereas FitRadio, they group it to help you exercise. So for example, they'll have music that is a certain like pace or tempo. So it'll have like, music that's like 130 beats per minute versus like 170 beats per minute. So that's super helpful for me because if I know I'm trying to jump rope, for example, and I want to keep a certain pace, like 150 or 160, then I can get a bunch of songs that follow that same pace, and then I can basically just synchronize my jumping with the music, and then it makes the time go by faster, and it's good music, so I just feel energized, and I'm like, really into it. It's also cool that, the second value proposition is they actually have an overlay where you can actually have coaching on top of the music. And so they'll have different types of exercise formats. So for example, like I use the running one a lot. Even though I don't actually run, I do jump rope in place of running, but it's the same kind of idea. It's like free form cardio, basically. And so I'll go to the running setting and then they'll have a bunch of different coaches who have different, what would I call it? I guess structures, patterns, I don't know what to call it, for that exercise. So for example, I could select like 30 minutes running with Coach Jack, for example. And so he will have his format or his pattern of like, okay, we're going to do 5 minutes warm up and then we're going to do, 2 minutes, you run or whatever, and then 1 minute break, and then do that like 5 times. And then we'll do like a couple of sprints of like 30 minutes go, 30 minutes rest, 30 minutes go, 30 minutes rest. And then we'll do one final long 3-minute stretch and then cool down, for example. And so they'll have different coaches with different like patterns or different formats like that. And then you could choose from those. And then it overlays on top of the music. So you have the music pushing you on, you have the tempo driving you, you have the coach saying like, okay, now we're going to do this, now we're going to do this. And then I also really like that they tend to include like little motivational quotes at the beginning and the end. Like they'll say in the beginning, like, you've already done the hardest part, which is, putting on the music and getting your butt here, putting on your workout clothes and getting started. So now you just have to commit for the next 20, 30 minutes, and then you're done with the hardest part of your day. And so they'll have little things like that. That's super motivational that I like. Sometimes they'll have little jokes in there. Of course, the content is all pre-recorded. So if you listen to it over and over again, like I do, it's going to be the same jokes and the same motivation. But on hard days when you just don't feel like doing anything, sometimes that's just all you need. You just need someone to remind you, like, hey, like, you're doing a great job. This is the hard part. Get it out of the way. Then you can go and rest and chill and then come back and do it again tomorrow. So to me, that's really cool. Highly recommend FitRadio app. Happy to do more of an extended review, show you guys the UI and stuff like that if anyone's interested. So let me know in the comments. But music and FitRadio app, some sort of coaching, all that stuff I found super, super helpful. In addition to cardio, I also do weightlifting. That's actually the majority of my routine. And at one point, I was using a personal trainer, but as you guys can imagine, that shit gets expensive, and I'm not a millionaire yet. So I did it for a few months, and then I stopped. But it was really good to do it for those few months, just so I could have a good idea of what kind of routines a personal trainer will give to you. And I also got to see like the changes that it actually led to in my body. So I got a little dose of it. And then when I didn't use the personal trainer anymore, I looked to see if there were apps that could basically somewhat replicate the experience that I had with the coach. And I found this really cool app called FitBod. That it's not exactly the same as a trainer, but guys, it's pretty good. Especially if you've already been in the gym, or you've already worked with a trainer, or you already know just like the basics of weightlifting and exercise. You can basically use the FitBod app, follow the instructions, and do what you need to do. What's really dope about it is they will assemble a workout for you, and they will also help you alternate based on what your goal is. So for me, my goal is to build muscle, to build lean muscle, basically. And so it will do this pattern of, on days and off days, upper body and lower body. I do my own separate cardio day, and then it will just alternate and auto-generate workouts based off of that. So for example, maybe tomorrow it might generate upper body workout, and then it will say, we're gonna hit like, I don't even know all the words of the different muscles, so I'm not even gonna play. But it will just show you, like, we're gonna hit these muscles, the back muscles, the abs, this, that, and the other. And then it'll show you like, okay, it does it based on like reps and sets. So it'll do like, we're gonna do these 4 exercises for this set, and then you're gonna do them for 4 reps or 5 reps. And then it will basically build out a workout depending on how much time you have. I'll usually put it for like 40 to 45 minutes, and I'll usually get like 2 or 3 sets with usually like 4 to 5 reps of 4 to 5 exercises, if that makes sense. And then they have this cool timer that will count down. So like do this exercise for 30 seconds or for 1 minute, and it'll count down. Okay, now do this next exercise, and it'll count down. Okay, do this other exercise, and then it'll say, okay, great, you completed, one whole like cycle, and we gotta do this now 3 or 4 more times. And that's basically what I was doing with my personal trainers, but it was just like having my phone like count down and show me what to do. They also have cool videos where they'll show you like, they'll show you a video and also write in text to explain like how to do the exercise, how to position yourself and all that stuff. So that's helpful as well. And yeah, again, happy to share more about the FitBod app if anyone is interested to get more information. But highly recommend it for those who are interested in lifting weights or building muscle or losing weight by weightlifting and stuff like that. So that helps me a ton, because then I don't have to think like, oh, what am I doing today? Or, oh, what exercise to pull together, That I found was one of the hardest parts of exercising, when I don't know what to do or what I'm doing. If I don't have a plan, then it's really easy for me to want to slack off and just not do it because I don't have a plan. And so it's just like, okay, let me just chill. So being able to know like, okay, I have my music, I have my cardio, I have my weightlifting plan. There's really no excuse because I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. And you can just focus on just motivating yourself and putting on your clothes and going to do it. So that's all helpful. And then the next piece that I would say is staying accountable to yourself is really, really huge. Like, it's really easy to skip a day and then just kind of quietly like sit on your sofa giggling like, oh, nobody knows, that's fine. But once you start to expose yourself intentionally, that gets harder, and it's good because it means you're never going to slack off for too long. So the ways that I stay accountable is, number one, I have a little calendar on my fridge where I literally write like the days of the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I write what I want to be doing. Like, I've developed the routine I was telling you guys of cardio, weightlifting, stretching, whatever, all the things I need to do, the day of the week that I want to do it on, and then I write it calendar style with, all the days of the month, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I do what I'm supposed to do for the day, I get to cross it off. When I don't do what I'm supposed to do for the day, I don't cross it off. And I put it on my fridge. So every time I go to the fridge to get a little snack, get food, I'm seeing over and over again, like, am I staying on top of my stuff or not? And when I see like a whole week of no X's or a whole week and it's only 1 or 2 X's, I feel bad. And I found that that's very effective for me because I feel bad. I feel like I'm not staying on top of my stuff. And then it motivates me to want to get back on it so I can keep crossing off, at least 3, 4 times a week that I'm doing stuff and I'm staying active. The next thing that's been super helpful is Apple Fitness. I got an Apple Watch, as I told you guys in one of my former videos, as part of a virtual personal training app that I was trying out. And I decided to keep the Apple Watch. And one of the features you have on there is you can share your daily stats with your friends and family, and you can also do competitions with your friends and family. So that's super helpful because other people will be able to see that, let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you worked out, but then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you didn't do anything. And then they'll be like, hey, like, what happened? Like, you're not doing anything. Like, is everything good? Like, get back on it. Or they'll see that you're doing a bunch of stuff and they'll send little comments like, good job, great work, keep going, stuff like that. And then the competitions are cool because you can start competing with a friend for, usually it's a week. And then whoever basically like either burned the most calories or closed all the circles. They have circles to show like, you have to like exercise for 30 minutes. You need to move like 8 out of 8 hours. You need to burn a certain number of calories, and then you can close all the circles is what they call it. And so they have different types of competitions you can do. And then for me, that always helps because I like to win and I like to brag about winning. And so then once in a while, I'll do competitions with friends, especially when I'm not feeling motivated and I've slacked off for several weeks. Then I'll do a competition with a friend, and that will help me, stay on top of my shit just so I can have bragging rights. And then it makes it easier that next week to actually keep on exercising once I've already, crushed an entire week. And then the last thing that helps me stay motivated is just tracking my progress. I have a digital scale that's tied to an app where every time I step on it, it will automatically mark my weight, but it also marks a bunch of other cool stats like BMI. I think it marks like your fat, your body fat. It has like 20 or 30 different stats that it marks that are all super cool and helpful. I also occasionally will take photos to kind of monitor like where I'm at. Back in the day, I used to take measurements, but I'm not really doing that. In lieu of doing that, I bought some really tight jeans that I found fit me just perfectly when I'm, in the shape that I want to be in. And so every once in a while, when I go to put on those jeans and I can't close them and it doesn't fit, then I know I've slacked off and I've started gaining weight again. And so between all of that, it helps me keep track of my progress and see how things are going and make sure I'm keeping on top of it. So basically, if the music doesn't do it for me, then the workouts app might do it for me. If that doesn't do it for me, then my calendar might do it for me. If my calendar doesn't do it for me, then the fitness competitions and like my family members sending snarky comments might do it. And if that doesn't do it for me, then not being able to wear my favorite pair of jeans out multiple weeks in a row, multiple months in a row, that will definitely do it. So that is my motivational system. It's been working pretty well for me. And it's been, I would say, maybe like 8 or 9 months that I've been doing it this way, and I found that it's super effective. Of course, I'll have weeks when I'm not doing so much and not doing so well, but it's never extended for so long that, I'm going like a whole month without movement or without doing anything at all. So to me, that is a success. And I'm curious to hear what systems you guys have to stay motivated and to make sure that you're moving and not, losing the gains from your fitness journey. Comment below and let me know if there's anything else you guys want me to talk about related to staying motivated. See you next time.